Hello again, everybody. I'm Chris Mooneyham, and welcome to this week's edition of the Positive Athlete Georgia Spotlight of the Week. Thanks again for joining us, everybody. Reminding you that coming up at the end of this little 4 or 5 minute blog here, I'm going to remind you how you can become a part of the process in nominating a fine young athlete to win scholarship dollars and awards to further their education, someone who makes a high-level impact inside of your community. But let's focus on our spotlight of the week this week. And again, we are spotlighting young men and women who won awards in the 2014-15 season last year, as we're just now getting ramped up into the 2015-16 season. And again, nominations have started. I'll tell you about all of that in just a moment. As a sophomore at Woodward Academy, Jeremy Kopleman became a leader on his boys tennis team, and last June was named Positive Athlete Georgia's 2014-15 Most Positive Boys Tennis Athlete. Although Jeremy's an accomplished tennis player, which sets him apart and that he's accomplishing all of these goals that he has, even though he suffers from juvenile arthritis. Despite the painful disease, Jeremy's never missed a tennis match or a practice. And even with swollen, stiff joints, he perseveres and played his tennis matches even though his coach and teammates were not aware of his condition. His mother, Kim, says that playing tennis for Woodward allows him to forget about the pain, she says. And I'm quoting now, "He only focuses on representing his school in athletic competition," said Ms. Kopleman. In addition to tennis, Jeremy's very involved in his local community. His volunteer work ranges from working at Families First Homeless Shelter to helping to organize and implement a day of service where 200 local teens were able to volunteer around Atlanta. Currently, Jeremy spends every other week volunteering with a teen philanthropic group that will donate $10,000 to nonprofits around the world. Jeremy told the audience at the College Football Hall of Fame last year at our state awards show that his inspiration for positivity comes from his home life. He said, and I quote now, "My parents have always helped me out in the community, and I wanted to follow their lead." Or, I'm sorry, let me back up. He said, "My parents have always helped out in the community, and I wanted to follow their lead and help out as well." End quote. What a fine, fine young man, and it was a pleasure to meet him last year at our state awards down at the College Football Hall of Fame in downtown Atlanta. Remember, fans, Positive Athlete Georgia, a movement to promote positive service and positive behavior by student athletes and coaches from across the state of Georgia. These athletes and coaches, not always state players, championship coaches, or even starters on their respective teams, but what they are is leaders inside of the communities. Current and former professional athletes are members of Positive Athlete Georgia, and high school athletes will be invited to join based on being nominated by a coach, a school administrator, a fellow teammate, and of course a family member like some of you out there watching today, and could be eligible to win the state award at the Georgia Positive Athlete High School State Awards Show. Nominations for the 2015-16 Positive Athlete Awards opened just a few weeks ago, and already we've had as many nominations in 3 weeks as we did in the first month of the year last year. Speaking of last year, Positive Athlete had nominations from over 150 high schools who provided over 2,000 nominations. 150 student athletes were awarded Most Positive in their region, and over $10,000 in college scholarship dollars were awarded. Positive Athlete Georgia plans on increasing our number of regions in 2015-16 to create more award recipients and scholarship dollars throughout the state of Georgia. For further details, make sure you visit georgia.positiveathlete.org. That's georgia.positiveathlete.org. Until next week, I'm Chris Mooneyham for the Positive Athlete Georgia Spotlight of the Week.